Good day, beautiful people. I have been in meditation today since 5 o'clock on the Amazon River, in the home I'm now staying. And I'm now in a place that hasn't yet opened, yet the owners or the people who work here have, with much gratitude from myself, allowed me to come into this place whenever I want and just relax. I've told them that I'm in Brazil on my own and I'm just doing lots of research and writing for humanity. And they said to me, whenever I need a space out of my home because I'm on my own, just come by. And the place isn't even open yet. Have a look. It's still being built. There's a center part of shop which is more or less finished, but the cafe, the working area, the open area in the middle, lots of work still to be done. But they've allowed me to come in and sit down. The place is called Namata. And it's a beautiful name because for those of you who understand the original language of Katala, Namata means thankful for he who will be the destroyer of all. And that is me. So the fact I'm in a place called Namata and they've allowed me to walk in and do as I please until they open, much gratitude. No coincidence. Anyhow, today's video is about a number of things to bring phenotypical disorders and disease to a close. I never intended to do this, but after meditating today, many things have arisen within me that have made me see I need to finish this video for all of you. Now, you have a number of things, phenotypical diseases upon earth. One of them is tinnitus. That one where you hear the ringing tones or the of all different varying tones. You hear this all day long. Now, I did the research on this 20, 25 years ago. It's simple. And I have actually developed a process where I've worked with quite a few people around the earth, and 100% of the people I've worked with have all reduced their tinnitus symptoms and been able to manage themselves adequately to not have any pains that sometimes come with the tinnitus. Now, in one of my videos, I wrote about many fall through coronaries and aneurysms. And tinnitus is a precursor to the coronaries and aneurysms that these people die from. Now, the body has an organ called the ear. And the ear, for everyone on earth, allows you to hear things, the auditory sense. Yet what people don't realize is that the ear does not just allow you to hear the auditory tones. It allows you to hear the subordinary and the supraordinary tones. And these tones are dangerous to the physical body. Now, when you hear these tones, it's because the physical body is giving you a warning sign, a signal to let you know that there are energies in the area which are damaging your body. And it's your physiological signal, physiological process for you to do something to protect yourself. Now, what you do to protect yourself, you breathe into the diaphragm. You listen to the tone as you breathe into the diaphragm and bring yourself to silence. And as you listen to this tone, you then actively move wherever the tone feels in your body to another area. And just in doing that process, it will disappear. And this is the reason why. Wave theory 101. Frequencies all have waves and particular behaviors. Looking at the wavelet behavior, you have a wave like a sine wave, going up and down. Say it has an amplitude of 1. You have another wave, an amplitude of 1. Say they come together at exactly the right timing. So they're is together and they is together. They amplify, they add, and they become 2 rather than 2 ones. But on the contrary, you have and they meet at they cancel and become 0. Now, what you have on the earth at the moment, you have many telecommunication devices, you have many electromagnetic devices which are sending loads and waves all over the earth. Some of these waves interact with the body in a very contradictive manner to the frequencies that the body releases, to the frequencies that allows you to live. And it's when these wavelets hit the body and they're contradictive to the physiological processes of life that your auditory system will give you this to let you know that there is an energy in the area which is dangerous to your physiological self. And for you to sink into the diaphragm and use your breath to counteract it or to remove yourself from the area. Now, given the wide nature of electromagnetic frequencies that they are supplying all over the earth today, it's very hard to remove yourself to an area where this does not exist. So you are tasked, even more so, to utilize your breath and go into the diaphragm to protect yourself. Now, as I've said, 100% of the people I've worked with all over the earth have all reduced their tinnitus symptoms and all reduced the pain that comes along from the tinnitus symptom that you experience. So this is not something I'm speaking of as a theory. I have researched this, I have applied the process, and I've seen it work. Now, how they come to attack people. In school, one of the reasons why the education process even exists, they do a hearing test upon all children. And the reason why they do this hearing test upon children alone, without their parents, without an adult, a guardian adult near them, is because they are testing the children for signals they cannot hear. So these signals they can attack the children with. Remember, anyone under the age of 18, by law, is supposed to have their father or their mother or their legal guardian sitting beside them when they are seen by a doctor or any medical professional of any sort. Yet, in schools, for some reason, this law seems to be thrown aside. And you have medical professionals of the ear who sit with your children and do hearing tests upon them by the age of 5 years old. And what they do with these hearing tests is because at 5 years old or just before, the senses that are the ear, the auditory sense, which is provided by the ear, change. And in that change, you can sometimes get the upper, above 20 kilohertz, which you can hear, or the lower, below 20 hertz, which you can hear. And for those children who get above 20 kilohertz or below 20 hertz, these children are more likely to have this ability when their senses become stable again. So they test you around this time to make sure that most children never have these senses awaken, because your senses are all supposed to awaken like this. And for those that do inadvertently have them awaken, they then start to attack you with these energies. Now, as proof, all of you may have heard of this Mosquito System. What is it? It's a system that literally sends out an energy tone that certain children cannot deal with. It makes them move away from an area. This energy system, protecting buildings from children, from juveniles, is based upon this principle. Wavelet theory, frequency theory, energy theory, attacking the physiological self. This is what they let you know of how they apply it. Tinnitus is the phenotypical generation of disease within a person in a way that you do not realize they're doing. Now, it's also very telling that the major method of reducing tinnitus symptoms within those who experience tinnitus and actually go to the doctors and tell them they're experiencing tinnitus is an operational procedure which removes part of the auditory system from the body so you can no longer hear these tones, no longer become protective of self, and you will therefore die later on in life. Now, I will bring this to something else. Kate Beckinsale, my beautiful sister. Your father was killed via a coronary or something like that. Someone in your family, one of his friends, will have known he had these tones, tinnitus tones, because these are the tones he would have felt and would have heard before he had these attacks upon his body. Check among your father's friends who are still alive. Check among your family who were very close to him, and you will see I am telling the truth. Now, beautiful people, apart from tinnitus and how they test our children in schools to apply this to them. And apart from the Mosquito System, which you can see they use as a security system, putting proof to my words on Wavelet 101, you also have this final aspect I'm going to look at now. And it's, how can I put it? It's based on Michael Faraday's work on the electric box theory. Now, for any of you who have been to England, they've been to Elephant and Castle, you will have seen a copper box in the middle of Elephant and Castle. Now, the copper box is reminiscent of this experiment. Now, what Michael Faraday did, he took a box and electrified it and tested our people, put our people in these boxes to see the physiological response when the physiological body was surrounded by an electric field, foreign and dangerous to the physiological self. Now, what they found is that if you surround the body long enough, you can cut that body off from the energy of the universe. Not because you literally have the power to cut that body off, but you damage the body to such an extent that the body can no longer connect to the universe, and i.e. the spiritual self. I.e. you damage the mind, you damage the nervous system, because you have one electrical field which is foreign and unnatural interacting with a natural electric field of the nervous system, and it damages the mind. Now, it's not any coincidence that in an area of London, which is has one of the largest African Caribbean communities in Europe, Elephant and Castle, that this copper box, the electric box effect, is sitting right there in Elephant and Castle in that area. It's just no coincidence. Now, as proof of the fact that they know exactly what they're doing and they coordinate their behavior to make sure that they do this on a daily basis to all our people, all Morenos on earth, all those who are not Slav and Jew, all those who are not their traitorous friends, even their traitorous friends in some instance. They made a film. What was it called? The Golden Compass. Now, in the Golden Compass, they have a scene where they're putting children in an electrified box and cutting the children off from their animal spirit. What they've done is they've used Galen. They've utilized the science that Galen provided, the drawings he provided, showing the natures of the spirit in the diaphragm and in the head. And they've made a film reversing those theories, but showing that keeping the child in an electric field, surrounded by electric field, you could damage the mind to such an extent they no longer have connection to their spirit. And they showed this in the Golden Compass, in the film, to coordinate their behaviors globally. Because by the time they did this film, they'd done enough research on the children in schools that they realized that it does work, because they've been applying the tinnitus process and attacking children with energy. All the people who were shown to hear below 20 hertz and above 20 kilohertz, attacking them throughout life and killing them. By the time they made the film Golden Compass, that had enough proof to show that their process works on the phenotypical production of the disease or the disorder called tinnitus, and the fact they can kill many people who have tinnitus and do not realize it. One, by the current reason aneurysms, or two, for the people who come in saying they have tinnitus, by destroying the hearing faculties that allow them to hear tinnitus, hear the signals of the body, giving them a warning, and therefore being able to kill them further down the line, or bring them to some other form of disorder. Golden Compass. Now, how this is also being utilized upon Earth. Gratitude, draw. Now, the Catala regions of Spain, Barcelona, Valencia, Tarragona, Alicante. I've traveled up and down these regions many occasions. And one of the things I was looking at is why there was such a huge proliferation of psychological agencies, huge proliferation of private psychological companies opening up throughout the Catala regions of Spain, from the north to the south. Now, one day I was walking through Valencia, meditating as I walk as part of my healing process, and I came across a business called Claustrophobia. Now, Polizia Militar, Guardia Civil in Valencia, take note. Listen to these words, because I've spoken to all of you. We have had laughs together at the fact that they've been trying to attack me, and you've realized they're trying to attack me, and we've had a joke about it because we know they're idiots, right? Anyway, in Valencia, there's a company called Claustrophobia. Now, what they've done utilizing this wave theory, they have, every now and again, they place huge speakers on the streets and they play sounds of static frequency. But these are not any random sounds that do nothing. I bring in another aspect for you to see in life. Binomial rhythms. What do binomial rhythms do? They entrain the mind, because the frequencies that you're listening to literally drag the mind in that direction. So they can have a positive effect if to help you become calm, or they can have a very negative effect if to make you become very stressed. What Claustrophobia in Valencia have been doing, they've been placing speakers all over the streets of Valencia. Now, you're talking about an area where psychological issues have been low, if not zero. And ever since this company's arrival, psychological issues have more than quadrupled, if not multiplied by a factor of 10 in the area where this company resides. Because they've been placing speakers everywhere, playing these static sounds, like on the principle of binomial beats, and in training people to stressful disorders, and therefore then being referred by doctors, these people being referred by doctors to the Claustrophobia agency, the psychological agency, where they then provide psychoanalytical services or hypnosis services. Do I need to explain? Let me know if I do, and I will. So, as you can see, the wavelet theory has been used to bring people to stress. Now, claustrophobia is a process that is happening now. So, Polizia Militar, Guardia Civil in Valencia, resolve this. These people all go to jail. Life. Remember, any premeditated act which leads to the death of another is a life or death sentence. And these things lead to the death of people. And they're doing this right now in Valencia. And they're doing this all over the earth upon all our children. So you've seen binomial beats, the hearing test upon children in schools with no legal guardian present, the phenotypical generation of tinnitus and how it's used to hurt our people because we do not realize that our body is providing us with a physiological signal to let us know we're in danger. The operational process which takes this physiological process away from us for those who have it and got through the gap in school, were not tested and found to have it. The aneurysms and coronaries that our people die by because of these attacks upon the body. And the electric box effect, as studied by Michael Faraday and applied all over the earth. Lastly, I didn't add this. This is last. Now, the reason why copper wires are wired through homes is because your homes are built upon the Michael Faraday electric box effect. Your homes are literally glorified coffins. You die in your homes. You do not live. Now, for all my beautiful people, truth, light, gratitude, Ra. For all my beautiful Morenos on earth, you will start getting up out of your houses, because the houses that you live in, how they've been designed, how they've been architecturally designed, engineeringly designed, has been specifically to kill you, to break your mind through electrical processes, electrical signals moving through the building, which interact with the body in a very negative manner. This has been done. Look at the research of Michael Faraday, look at the research of Linus, and you will see the electric research they did on plants and animals and the physiological response due to electricity. This is how they applied it. So yes, my beautiful people, I'm not saying walk outside and live on the street, although living in nature is much better for you. For now, make sure you get out of your house more. That glorified coffin you living in is your death trap. Truth, light. These are the things that have come up in my meditations today, and I've been meditating for hours, and you can see they are truth. You go look these up for yourself. Ask anybody about wavelet theory, you'll see I've spoken the truth. You, Guardia Civil, Polizia Militar in Valencia, you go check out claustrophobia. Do not go and see anything about them directly, just watch them from far. You will see I'm speaking the truth. If they stop putting the speakers out that they have been doing, you will know I'm speaking the truth. If they change the tones because of this video I'm putting out, you know I've spoken the truth and you know what to do. These things are being done all over the earth. Example, Brazil, right now, all over Brazil, you have speakers in the streets. And every now and again, these speakers just come on and start playing tones. Sometimes they're playing regular music, sometimes they're playing tones people can't hear, but I can. And these tones are hypnotizing people all day long. I've been walking through Belém for over a year, and I've watched people get raped. And there's nothing I can do because nobody sees it. I watched a beautiful lady walking down Amarante Barroso. The tones came on, she went into a trance. One Slav on a bike came along, flashed them hypnotic lights in her face, as per a clockwork orange, and she just disappeared. He just walked up to her, pulled her, and walked off with her with his bike. I don't know what happened, but I know that something bad happened. Nothing I could do about it, because if I start attacking all these bastards who are raping our girls around Belém, utilizing this process, I'm going to go to jail or be deported because nobody sees or hears what I do. Start looking. Polícia Militar, Polícia Federal, Guardia Civil, Bomberos. Start looking. Everyone, life or volcanoes, forget life. My beautiful people, be safe. I am continuing my research to finish my writing for all of you. You are going to live and they are going to die. There is no doubt.